Bro, if you can switch the way you look at fear and you can look at it as your friend, as like an opportunity for growth, that's when you will become very, very dangerous.
Sometimes anxiety comes from having too much energy as well.
Yeah.
You got too much energy going around and you don't release it. I would become unable to move, unable to think. All I could think about was this feeling.
That nigga finna die.
He finna die.
And that's why they say the toughest people are either in jail or they're dead in the world.
Do you think it's a 1% mindset to be able to handle anxiety well?
Yeah.
She living with me. Turn up the temperature, nigga.
Hey.
I'm calling up P.
Yeah.
Can't call her little kid. Back. Bill, let me breathe. Go ahead and cheat. Go to the sky, and ain't no limit. Motherfucker talking about, look at the brim. I gotta talk about, who am I talking about, nigga? You know that it's him. And shoot my shot looking at them. I got a Glock on my side and I pop. Alright, man.
Yes, Sirski.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of the Pure Intentions Podcast. Your home for the best conversations in Gen Z. Everything that will lead you to live a more intentional life. So, I'm one of your hosts, David.
And I'm Justin.
And, you know what I'm saying? This episode, what, 39, bro?
Yeah, 39.
We finna be at 40.
Yeah, that's how old I'm finna be, bro.
We finna be at 40. Oh my
Hell
gosh.
yeah.
Bro. Okay, bro. So we got a lot of new people. We've done a lot of new episodes. Let's just take a second to introduce, you know what I'm saying, who we are. Okay. And let the people know, just a little quick spill. You don't gotta, you know what I'm saying? But just like let them know what you do, get a picture of, you know what I'm saying, where you coming from.
Yeah, so I'm Justin once again. You know, I'm one of the hosts of Pure Intentions. I have a CMOS business, and I'm just real big on discipline. So I love meditation. I love self-improvement. And, I love to run as well.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
So my name is David Logan, of course. My Instagram is at David Logan. I am an observer. That is the main thing that I do. But I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, and I have one business that is branding and graphic design. I have another business, which is this podcast, and another business which focuses on AI education. And yeah, man, I just like to go through personal development. Getting better daily is something that is on my mind 24/7. Maybe that came from, you know, watching so many videos and being exposed to stuff. But that's what I'm into, and having these great conversations, letting people in on information that they, you know, wouldn't otherwise get. So, we just wanted to let y'all know who we are again, and hopefully y'all can, you know, introduce yourselves in the comments as well. Let us know where y'all coming from and who y'all are. But, man, what we getting into today, bro?
We get into why are people so anxious?
Why are people so anxious? Honestly, bro, one thing that I hear from a lot of people, they be like, yeah, I got like social anxiety. Yeah, I have bad anxiety. I'm like, damn, like it really do seem like everybody is saying that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really like that a long time ago, I would say. Like mainly, even if people just felt anxious, they didn't express it so much. But now it just seems like everybody is in this mode where they, you know, have some type of ailment on the side of anxiety or nervousness or stuff like that. So
it became normalized.
It did, bro.
And you know how society makes things a trend. So I honestly think having anxiety has become a trend. Or saying you're depressed or something.
Yeah.
It has become a trend because so many people have been saying that.
Mm-hmm. When that first person goes on the mic and says, Yeah, I was depressed. Yeah. I had real bad anxiety. I still have real bad anxiety. Yeah. And they're like, okay, this person's being transparent. I can be transparent too. So then everybody follows along. And that's just what society does, bro. You get caught in this loop of being like everybody else. And honestly, bro, my experience with anxiety has only been one that I created for myself. Yeah. And I know a lot of other people have other situations, and we're going to get into it deeper, the different causes of anxiety, where they come from people, but also we're going to get into, you know what I'm saying, what has helped us on our journeys, because we've definitely experienced anxiety. I would say everybody experienced anxiety at some level, you know, but yeah, so what should the people learn after this episode, bro?
So basically some keynotes is to know that anxiety basically stems from fear, and fear is a natural thing, but just because you experience fear doesn't mean you have to let that fear stop you. Like, that's the difference between being a coward and being courageous. Courageous people, they still feel the exact same anxiety and fear, but they still keep going. So hopefully by the end of the episode, you guys can learn how to be courageous, or even more courageous if you're already courageous right now.
Yeah, no cap, because that's what it takes, bro. Yeah. That's literally what it takes. One of my biggest points in this was going to be just go through it. Yeah. It's going to be there regardless. And I'll start this off with a story. So as a kid, bro, I would go to school and I would have these first days of school, and you know, I would have this feeling that was just so intense. You know, I couldn't go to sleep the night before, of course. Yeah. I wake up and, you know, I'm nervous. I'm nervous to go to school, and I put on my clothes and I get in the car. I'm excited in the house, but then I get to the car. I'm like, okay, this shit real. This shit real. So we're driving, and, you know, I might fall asleep in the car, and then I'll wake up when we get closer to the school, and I'll notice we're closer to the school. I'm about to get out of the car. I get this super immense feeling in my stomach, in my abdomen, whatever you want to call it. And it's just so unbearable, bro. It's beyond unbearable. And I begin to cry, and I begin to stall getting out of the car. I was afraid to get out of the car from this feeling that I was having. And, you know, I would go through, and this happened on multiple first days. And actually, bro, somebody on the podcast can attest to this, bro. Yeah. My nigga Harrison, bro, he know what the fuck was going on. But like, I would have this feeling going into this situation, and it was a pattern, and I would just become stalled. I would become unable to move, unable to think. All I could think about was this feeling, and that, you know, it kind of feels like a spike. And what's really happening is that chemicals are firing off. You are entering a stage that you're familiar with, which is fight or flight. You're entering that stage. And whenever those chemicals are becoming heightened in people in those situations where they're getting anxiety, they either turn into a warrior, which has courage that we're speaking about, or a worrier, which is the person that, you know, gets stalled, starts thinking about, overthinking about the situation. Oh my God, what is this going to happen this next situation? Yeah. And I learned that in that situation, I just had to go through it, bro. Like, I had to accept that this feeling, though it was very immense, I need to get over it, because I'm a dude. I can't be crying all the time, bro. I'm going to school. Like, I don't want them to see me crying at, like, the girls, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's what I went through, though, bro. Yeah. And so I had to get over that. Among many other situations, bro, I remember this one situation where I was at church, and I was supposed to be in a play, and I was too afraid to go on stage. That wasn't stage fright, though. It was pure anxiety before the situation. Like, I've never had stage fright, but I've had immense anxiety. And I know some people may say, okay, yes, you did have stage fright because the situation is going on stage in front of people. But it was just anxiety. And yeah, bro, that's my little quick spiel.
Yeah, appreciate you sharing that for the people.
Oh God. But you gotta go through it. And
Yeah.
another thing that helped me is telling myself how excited I am about the coming situation. So usually it's fear of the future that people have anxiety for, or not usually, but a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you just tell yourself how excited you are about, the coming situation.
Yeah. Nah, bro, that's a fact, bro. You do have to go through it because it's like our imagination is like one of the most powerful things ever. So you could either use your imagination to help you or to deteriorate you. So anxiety basically is when you use your imagination for negativity and you're imagining the worst possible outcomes. And most of the times that shit doesn't even happen in real life.
It doesn't.
But yeah, man, like you have to really just realize that like majority of the times too, you're not gonna die from the situation or from the experience you're about to go through. So like you said, just go through it because you're still gonna be alive at the end of the day. And that's like the biggest win right there. So I feel like as long as you have that mindset that like, bro, no matter what happens in this experience, I'm still gonna be alive. So a lot of times we make things like life or death and shit like that, but it's really not majority of the times, bro. At all.
I think going through that situation multiple times built that mechanism for me because I noticed that I was okay after it. As a kid, you don't really analyze why you're doing something. You don't analyze why you're crying. You just know I feel this thing and I want to cry. And so you cry. But going through that situation multiple times taught me that. And let's get into why everybody is actually feeling anxious. Like what is it that's causing these people to be more anxious in 2025?
I meditated on this last night, and I think the biggest thing is the lack of faith in God and the lack of faith within themselves. So they don't even truly believe in themselves and they don't truly believe in God. So they let this human emotion called anxiety override their whole mechanism, their whole system, and just overtake them. But if you had true belief in God and true belief in yourself, you're going to feel that anxiety. You're going to feel that fear, but you're going to keep going forward because you have that faith.
Bro, I feel like the amount of faith in the world has actually grown significantly since we've been kids, bro. Like I really think that people are gravitating to that much more. But what I haven't seen is the ability to deal with these feelings. I was watching this video. This guy named Caesar, he's the dog whisperer. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I used to watch him.
So he had a video where he helps dogs, but in this particular one, the dog was only reading the energy of the owner, and the owner was very, 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 very tense and very nervous, and she had a ton of anxiety. You can tell it. You can look at her face, bro. When a person's face is like droopy and like a kind of depressed face, but like a worried face.
Yeah.
And that energy was transferring to the dog, bro. And this lady had a cross on her neck. Matter of fact, she didn't have a cross on her neck. She had Jesus on the cross on her neck. And I'm like, if I were you, I would know what or who I believe in and accept that power and get rid of this feeling that I have. I would accept that power.
Yeah.
But it seems like more and more, while people are going to those areas for help in life, they aren't getting mechanisms or skills to be able to, actually deal with these feelings, bro. Because what actually deals with anxiety? What actually deals with it? Mostly is action. If you are taking action, you can reduce your anxiety levels. Action like yoga. Action like, hey, so I know this ain't show and tell or nothing, but this is something that I bought when I went to Colombia, and it is basically a kind of, think of it as like a essential oil, but like as a mist that you can spray. So real quick, bro, we gon' just spray one little spray on our hands real quick, and what I want you to do is just Pat your hands together like this, and now cup them like this, and now just breathe lightly, bro. Breathe lightly. Just slowly. Deep breath. In. Move your hands away. Let that bit go.
ASMR.
You know what I'm saying? Do it again.
ASMR.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is something that everybody can do at the start of their morning. And for much of, the last few months, this has been at the start of my routine, not only for clearing my airways, but for calming myself at the start of the day. And it's like a person can wake up and instantly begin thinking about what happened yesterday, what went wrong yesterday. And you aren't calm at the start of your day and you're already starting it bad. Your routine cannot go completely right if your mind is always in the past, in the negative past.
Yeah.
So when you implement mechanisms like this, that is a practical action that will help your anxiety. You will notice that over time, you're just calmer. Or when you go through this mechanism, whether it's just placebo or not, you are calmer. You get to have a clearer head. You get to literally not have that intense feeling that you've been encountering, But I know that was a little, interjection. But I want to go back to what's out here that's causing people to do that. So you said a lack of belief in self and a lack of faith.
Yeah.
And
I want to go off that too, because it's like a lot of people say they believe in God or they believe in Jesus or whoever, but actions speak louder than words.
Yep.
So you could say you believe in this entity, but if your actions don't align with it, I don't really believe
you
believe.
Like you talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Because your actions don't align with it. I feel like I said a couple episodes back, faith is like a super charged emotion. Like one of the strongest emotions I feel like a human can experience is faith itself. And I think that's got black people through slavery, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, man. So, but like if you truly believe something, bro, I honestly don't feel like, because it changes your whole perspective on life, So I honestly don't feel like you will let that emotion of fear stop you.
You wouldn't, bro.
Yeah.
You would know that what you have with you is so much bigger than that thing. And bro, I'm not even gonna get into that. But you just would know that you're equipped with everything to get past all of this stuff on earth.
Exactly.
And anxiety is on earth. It's simply chemicals in your brain, stuff that honestly you can control, but you can't really control. Like I said, everybody has anxiety at some level. If you've ever had butterflies in your stomach, that is anxiety. If you've ever felt claustrophobic in a situation and you started to feel a little tense and heightened, that is anxiety. All of this is the same thing. And what I've noticed is that, we talk about a lot on this podcast about your external environment and, what you're consuming. And that has been one of the, I believe, biggest changes to the modern world. And I would say, modern being 1950s and forward. When you're able to look at the news and see something, you are getting that energy. So maybe that situation that you just watched is causing you to have anxiety when you walk outside. You hear that somebody just got shot right in front of their apartment. Oh my gosh, I stay in an apartment. Am I going to get shot?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Oh my gosh. You got something right here on the other side. Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah, bro. And you start to get these fake situations in your life from external factors, and it's just pulling in energy. And so when you turn that off, you're not going to get those things. You are not going to get these external influences that are telling you that all of this bad All of these bad things are happening in the world.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. To an extent, I kind of feel like, they'd be like, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
But ignorance is simply just not knowing something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I kind of do feel like that can help you, because like, I feel like a lot of people who are in mental hospitals and stuff like that, their awareness, they're so aware of like what's really going on in this world that their mind just can't. Yeah, it breaks basically. They just can't, hold all of that in because their awareness is so fucking high.
Yeah.
And that's why I be saying sometimes too, like, I don't think humans are really meant to know like what's going on the other side of the world, bro. Like, I feel like we were meant to live in like tribes and we know what's going on in this tribe right here, or maybe a few miles away, but not hundreds and thousands of miles away at all.
Literally, bro. For people to have so much access to other people's lives, like, it just has completely changed the game.
Yeah.
And this is going to go into social anxiety. Why are people getting in situations with strangers and they are very, very nervous? And this is also something that I went through as well. Social anxiety. I would say I was antisocial, but social anxiety was something that I would feel not often. I just was antisocial. So I was avoidant to social interaction. And that really came from, well, I would say for other people, getting in these situations, it's like we've placed these unrealistic outlooks on who people are, how social interactions are supposed to go, and what the whole situation looks like. It looks completely different. While, at one point in time, you would go up to a person in your town and, it'll be you. You can't hide nothing. I mean, they know you got arrested last week for something. They know that Miss Shirley was mad at you for jumping her gate or whatever. But now you have people that are putting on masks. You have people that are only showing their highlights. And it is creating very unrealistic dynamics within social interactions. So now I think I'm speaking to a perfect person. Yeah. Oh, shit. You just went to Venice? You just went to fucking Morocco?
Yeah.
You driving in Lamborghinis? Oh my gosh. You just had somebody donate $10,000 to your cause? Oh my God, you're perfect.
Yeah. And the thing about that on the flip side with the other person, they got to hold up this mask and this image as long as they can, but eventually that's just all a facade anyway. So eventually that shit gonna break. You can't hold that shit for the rest of your life.
Literally, bro. It has gone from raw and authentic to fake and unrealistic. That's what social interactions have become. And then you get into parasocial interactions and you think, okay, now we are adding in a new type of social interaction where I feel like I know a person I've never met before, but I see all the time. My brain is confused.
Why you think that happens?
I think that it's easier. It's easier not to be raw and authentic. It's easier to sit behind your computer and look at someone's Instagram and text them a DM. It's easier to do that than to get on the phone, but it's also easier to get on the phone than it is to come in person.
Yeah, facts. Bro, all of this has me thinking about what we spoke on a long time ago was projection, basically. So I feel like all of this really stems from the lack of knowledge itself, because if you judge somebody, bro, majority of times, or 10 out of 10, bro, it's some type of projection or some type of insecurity that you have within yourself. So then you go into this social interaction and you still have this built up insecurity within you. So you start projecting that into somebody else. But that projection doesn't always cause you to judge this person. That projection can cause you to experience some form of social anxiety because you're so used to goddamn like just being like, oh man, like am I enough, or how am I going to be in this conversation with Johnny right here? So that's a form of projection onto this other person, and it's majority of times it's not even real, bro. It's just some type of insecurity. So once you have knowledge of self, bro, and you know who you are, you're able to be your true, raw, authentic self, bro. So you can go into a conversation and it's just gonna flow how it's supposed to be.
Literally, bro. And I feel like social interactions have just changed so much where like in the episode before I was talking about how everybody thinks you're assuming something when you ask a question. Social dynamics like that have really fucked over bro, people even becoming friends. It's like all of the separation and all of the different things that people choose to go against each other for.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot of, negativity around. It's a lot of negative atmospheres in this world currently right now, and it is producing anxiety. And I would say for Gen Z, bro, it's producing anxiety for the future because we don't even know what that's going to look like with this shit looking like this now.
Yeah.
So, one of the statistics that I shared before on a previous episode was that over 50% of Gen Z is worried about their future or worried about their mental health in the coming years, in the near future. Mm-hmm. And that's a problem, bro.
Yeah.
But I think that, I would say that I have come to a place where I handle anxiety good because you will never get rid of it. Anxiety is something that you can only practice at different skills to, treat or, count to 10. There's so many different skills that people have embedded. But, for Gen Z, bro, I would just say, don't let this present moment allow you to believe that the future will look the same as now, because even 20 years ago, this should look completely different. Shit, even 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shit changes really, really quickly. And, sometimes change can give people anxiety.
Yeah.
The fact that things will not be the same.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. That was one of my biggest weaknesses, I guess I could say. Like, probably when I was like 18, 19, around there, maybe 20. Actually, you helped me with this. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know if you remember this, but one time out the blue, you had asked me, you was like, how do you deal with change? And I never even thought about that question. And I was like, I don't know, I guess pretty good. And you told me, I was like, nah, no, you don't. And then since then, I really thought about it, and I was like, damn, like at the time, I didn't deal with change good at all. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I was like, that's when I really started like keying in on this weakness and started making it my strength, because I realized that was like the quote of the day in the community. Make sure y'all join the Intentions community.
Bruh, join the community.
But
man.
the quote of the day yesterday was from like Albert Einstein, and he was talking about the only thing constant in life is change, and the people who master that ability to change are the ones who become the most successful, basically. And I know I reworded the quote, but it was basically like that. But yeah, like you said, though, things are going to change, bro. Life is constantly changing. And Bruce Lee also had this quote where he was like, be like water and be formless. Like, water can adapt into any object that it goes into. If you put water in a cup, it becomes a cup. If you put water into a fish tank, it becomes a fish tank. You put water into the ocean, it becomes the ocean. So you have to be formless. You always have to be able to adapt, and don't be scared of change, bro, at all. That's something I really learned,
bro.
That changed my life, to be honest.
You know what can really help with that?
What?
Developing a growth mindset and telling yourself that you want to get better every day. That will help your, for the people, that will help your ability to not only accept change, but promote it. Acknowledge it and want it for your life on a consistent basis. It's not to say that who you are right now is someone that you absolutely don't want to be. But it's to say that I'm not only dealing with my internal world, I have an external world. And this external world is ever changing. Every passing second, something is growing. Every passing second, something is dying. Every passing second, something is changing. How can I prepare myself for that? And the way that I did it was, developing a growth mindset, saying that I want to grow constantly.
Yeah.
And that growing is changing. So
literally.
you basically develop your appetite for change. But a lot of people don't, deal good with change when there's a set routine. If somebody's in a relationship with somebody and there's a set routine and that routine changes, it's like, fuck, the whole relationship is done. And it's like, damn, that's kind of crazy. But people should definitely build up their ability to adapt to change, because a made up mind is a very dangerous thing, bro.
Oh yeah.
You want to flow through life, truthfully. You don't want to become locked in anything. That is not the purpose of this experience. The purpose of this experience is to feel all and experience all and perceive all that life has to offer you in your experience.
Yeah. And that makes me just think about detachment, mastering the skill of detachment, because I feel like a lot of anxiety can come from not wanting to change because you're attached to this experience or you're attached to this certain outcome that you want. But if you detach from all results and, like you said, just truly experience and accept things for what it is in the moment, that's going to help you flow and be able to change.
And just tell yourself, when the time comes, I will address it.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to operate. Try it out. When the time comes, I will address it. If this thing happens, all right. Since I've developed a growth mindset, since I've become a person that wants to get better on a constant basis, I can now adapt. I can say, from moment to moment, I have increased my ability to change, and therefore I can adapt at any situation that comes at me. If something drastic were to happen to this establishment right now, I would not panic. I would look at the situation and find the best way to go through it.
Yeah.
I would adapt to the situation.
And that's how you grow, to be honest. Like, my sister told me, like, you could say you this and that. You could say you growing until a test comes, and then if you go, it just depends on your ability to react. Like, how are you going to react to this test that God or the universe throws at you? You can say you this, you can say you this, but God is always going to test you to make sure you are who you say you are.
What are your reflexes?
Yeah, literally.
What are your reflexes going to do? How did you build up your reflexes? And that's how you're going to react.
Yeah.
That's going to be the truth right there. That's going to be your answer to the test. So if you didn't actually develop those skills that you thought you did, you just be real with yourself. Just say it'll take more time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an overnight process. Be patient with yourself, of course. But know that it doesn't take, you cutting off an arm and leg to deal with anxiety good. Yeah. Of course, bro, but you got to think about it too. These people literally go their entire lives not being able to deal with anxiety still. And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, it's like, is it really such an anomaly to be able to deal with anxiety as a human being? Is it really such a, 1% mentality to be able to do that?
Bro, and this is something I want to speak on. So like, I'm a big Mike Tyson fan, and he said fear is his friend. So basically, he was saying what made him great was fear. He said he would have dreams about somebody knocking him out, so it'll make him train harder. He'll have dreams about, or he was fearful about, like going broke or something, so it made him work even harder. So that's another thing too. Like I always say, perspective is everything in life, bro. So like, if you can't truly or if you can, bro, if you can switch the way you look at fear and you can look at it as your friend, as like an opportunity for growth, that's when you will become very, very dangerous, because you can be like, damn, like I have a fear of not becoming successful. So hopefully that shit gonna make you work harder instead of, doing nothing. But if you can like just change your perception of fear, because like we said, fear is always gonna be there, bro.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be there. It's just about how you perceive it and then what actions you take after you feel that fear.
And that's a great example of a person that becomes a warrior in the face of anxiety and fear.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you can become a warrior.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson could not afford to become a warrior. Okay. He could not step in that ring, unstable about the outcome. He trained harder, which made him trust himself more, which secured the victory in his mind. I got this in the bag.
Yeah.
I've felt this type of fear from thinking about losing this fight. I will make sure that I am not going to lose this fight.
Yeah.
And, like you said, belief in self, bro, that is a huge one. I really stopped being affected by anxiety so much when I started loving myself and believing myself and trusting myself and looking at myself as a capable person.
That's where it all starts, is self.
Literally.
And family. So once a family, and that was another thing too, going back to like your very first question, was that like we get passed down these paradigms that we think we should live in from our family. Like majority of the times our family have anxiety, and their grandparents and great grandparents may have some sort of anxiety too, even though they didn't know what it was at the time. But it's got passed down, but it has to come to you to be able to recognize, become aware, and to end it, bro. And like kind of going a little bit off topic too, is that like shout out to Neuro Knowledge, first of all, bro. But he had dropped this video about what was it called? Self-doubt. He dropped a video on self-doubt.
Yeah.
And basically he was talking about how self-doubt is a good thing, because that means it's an indicator there's an opportunity for growth. So it's like once you feel self-doubt, he says that everybody feels self-doubt, but it's like I said with the fear, it's about like how you perceive that self-doubt. So if like, let's say you're about to run a fucking ultra marathon or some shit, and you like, damn, like, am I really capable of doing this? That's good you asking yourself that question, because then you could go, it's going to be your choice though, but you could go train harder to prove to yourself that you are capable of completing that ultra marathon. And even Stephen Curry, he said he still suffers with imposter syndrome to this day, bro, and he's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. But that's what made him great, bro.
Yeah.
That fear, that self-doubt is what made him great, because he's like, damn, like we perceive him like as this like crazy magical 3-point shooter, and this man's like, fuck, like I don't think I'm doing enough. I don't think I could make 8 threes a game again. So he's in the lab working, bro. And fear is actually what causes animals to evolve, bro. Fear is what causes evolution, dude. Because think about it, bro. Before society existed, bro, even we can go look at some wild animals
Literally
outside. It's the fear that keeps them alive, bro. When a deer or when a gazelle is in Africa drinking water, bro, they could hear a fucking cheetah coming, bro. And that fear puts them in that fight or flight mode.
And
they run.
Fuck off.
Exactly. And they're
take the
alive,
fuck
bro.
off,
So
bro.
fear is a natural mechanism, bro. So it's like once you really change your perception of fear, you look at it as a good thing, bro. And man, I don't know, I really get kind of passionate about this, because this is actually something I've been learning like the past month or two. And it's like, and it's so crazy to me that it's what causes animals to evolve. Fear is what keeps us sharp.
Yeah.
But it's like you said though, it's like in just certain situations when you need it. You just can't let it override you, though.
Yeah. If that gazelle was standing there and it heard the cheetah or, sensed the cheetah and that motherfucker froze up, that motherfucker would be dead.
Or if he was too courageous in the moment, he was like, man, fuck this cheetah.
Oh, God.
That nigga finna die.
He finna die.
And that's why they say the toughest people are either in jail or they're dead in the world, because it's like you have to pick and choose when you want to be courageous or when you need to get the fuck on, bro.
That's
if you want to call that, exactly, that's literally intelligence. That's what keeps you alive, bro. So the toughest people in the world, bro, they like, man, fuck that shit. Nigga dead, bro.
Literally.
At like 20 something. But if you would have had intelligence, you'd be like, man, that shit not even worth it, bro.
It's not near worth it, bro.
You gonna survive, bro. You live to see another day. So really, that's what I just really want to stress for you guys, is just like, change your perception of fear, bro. Anytime you feel fear, think of that as a good thing, bro. And fear is an emotion, and emotions are the language of the body, and our thoughts are the language of the mind. So anytime you feel any type of emotion, that's literally just your body reacting to some outside or maybe some internal stimuli.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it has to override you, though. You're more than your body. You're stronger than your body. You are the one in control.
You are the driver.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, that's super powerful, bro. Changing your perspective to these things, just changing your position of outlook on what fear is. Like, bro, honestly, bro, it's harder for females to grasp this concept too, bro. Because like fear for a dude, let's say a situation in reality is a level 5 conflict level. And so the people involved should have a level 5 fear level. A woman in that situation will have a level 10 fear level. A man in that situation will have about a level 3 fear level. And just based on that, demonstration, you can kind of see that it'll be harder for women to grasp this, but it is still essential. Yeah. Still essential. I honestly, I have yet to really come across a really courageous girl. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest, but
hey, they out here.
Yeah, we'll see them soon. But so what are, we gave a lot of stuff that people can utilize to get past anxiety and fear and stuff like that. But like, let's just recap the list of things that people can use practically. And so I'm gonna start off. Let's just go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm pretty sure we got a lot. Yeah. So just things that can help with anxiety. So I'm gonna start it off. Yoga.
Becoming aware.
Becoming aware.
Yeah.
Meditation.
Journaling, but that kind of goes into awareness.
Yeah, but let's just keep them separate. You know what I'm saying?
All right, journaling.
Sleep.
Yeah. Exercising.
Definitely, bro. Being able, bro, sometimes anxiety comes from having too much energy as well. Yeah. You got too much energy going around and you don't release it. You don't let it flow out anywhere. You don't take any action for it to leave. And so exercise is definitely a great way to do that.
Yeah. Emotions are just energy in motion. But once that energy becomes stagnant, that's when you feel that anxiety. Because it, like you said, you can't flow.
Literally.
Yeah.
Counting to 10.
Breathing techniques.
Breathing techniques for sure. Turning off the TV.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just say, stepping away from the world. So yeah, stepping away from the world.
Connecting with self/higher intelligence.
God?
Yeah.
Just call it belief in God.
God.
Short walks. Short walks. Just go step in nature for a little while, you know?
Man, shit, we covered damn near everything. I feel like I do.
Yeah.
It's,
Tell yourself how excited you are about the situation upcoming.
well, yeah, changing your perspective.
Yeah.
I would say also, like, don't dwell. So this may get a little bit off topic, but Joe Rogan brought this therapist onto his podcast 5-6 years ago, and she was speaking about y'all still need to go to therapy, but she was speaking about how therapy can be bad for you because you're just constantly talking about your problems.
Yeah.
So the more attention you put on something, the more it amplifies into your reality and into your world. So that's what they say. The way you look at life is the way life looks at you. So if you continue to focus on your problems, bro, them bitches gonna be your main thoughts throughout the day.
Magnified.
Exactly, magnified. So like, I forgot what I said in the first.
People talking about their problems too much.
Yeah. Don't talk about
therapy and shit. Hey, you gotta be able to handle your own shit, bro.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna be honest, bro. You gotta be able to handle your own shit. Don't nobody know you feeling anxiety right now.
Yeah.
Of course you can talk about it, but guess what? If there's nobody to talk to, what you gonna do then? Oh, I don't got nobody to talk to. Bruh, you need to handle your situations on your own or have the ability to. You don't have to all the time, bro. If me and you are out somewhere and we're in a situation and I can lean on you, I'll probably do that. But I need to have the ability to have autonomy by myself in going through these situations. You know what I'm saying? So relying on talking about it is, I mean, cool. Honestly, bro, the shit ain't never helped me. I've never been that type of person that released all of my problems out to people. I was never that person that if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to tell you a bad thing. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I know how to deal with my shit. Like, the amount of trust that I have in myself because of my history with different things that I've gone through, with different things I've encountered.
Yeah.
It's just developed this mindset of capability, I would say. And so you got to be able to deal with your own, problems.
Yeah.
Therapy is cool though. Go get some therapy. I'm going to go get some therapy soon,
Yeah, therapy actually changed and saved my life, to be honest, because that's how I started journaling. Yeah. So go to therapy for sure.
Have you ever told that story?
I think I told it in the beginning, but I'll tell it again. So since we introduced ourselves, I went to therapy 2020, a couple months before I went to college, and I had a therapist named Dr. Tucker. Shout out to Dr. Tucker. And he would basically just, every time I came in his office, like we would be like this, like he would be in his desk, I'll be sitting in the chair, whatever. Wow. He would be like, you can't come in unless you have a journal. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I bought a little $5 journal.
Okay, whatever.
Literally. So, cause like I was bullshitting at the time. I'm not gonna lie. I was like 17 and 18. So I was at the end of my 17, early in my 18. And so like I had therapy like every Tuesday, I think. So like it'll be Tuesday morning and I'm like, oh shit, I got therapy at 9 a.m. So before I leave the house, I'll write one sentence in my journal to help me basically like summarize my week because I wasn't really doing it. You know what I'm saying? So in the time, I'll write like one sentence to like summarize the whole week. So he's sitting like this. I'm bringing my journal. I have this one sentence and I'm just acting like I'm reading some shit. I'm not reading nothing at all. So I literally did that throughout my whole therapy sessions for like 2 months or some shit until I went off to college. Until I really faced some real life situations in college and I was like, I ain't know where to go. So I picked up my journal and I actually started journaling and that's how my life changed from then. So shout out to Dr. Tucker. You know
Bro,
what I'm saying?
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
One line, bro, is capping. He ain't never see you inside your
Nah, as long as you had the journal, bro, and you had to sit there and act and like read some shit. So
Yeah.
I just brought the journal. I'm holding it like these. I got one sentence, and he doesn't know because he can't see it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, last week I went to work, nigga. I'm capping all types of
Damn.
shit. I'm just making shit up as I go.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So you was kind of like faking it till you make it unintentionally.
Yeah, literally.
But like it was a situation that turned from you not taking it serious to you had to take it serious.
yeah, but
And yeah,
I was gonna say the fact that he even exposed that into my life is
Yeah.
like, so when
it
I
was
actually,
mandatory.
yeah, exactly. So like, bro, before that, like, bro, I knew what journaling was, but bro, I wasn't gonna pick up no journal.
Lame
Oh,
ass
God.
shit. Lame ass nigga journaling.
Literally, that was my mindset at the time. I'm like, bro, I'm not finna get no fucking, like, I could care
Dear
less about
diary,
this. Oh
today
God,
I went to the store
Yeah.
and I bought some candy. It was really good.
literally. But it's like, even to this day, that's something. So I mentioned in the beginning, I've been meditating for over 3 years now, every day.
Yeah.
But I also been journaling every Sunday for like 2.5 years now as well. So that's some
Wow, bro.
crazy shit because I wasn't even doing that shit. But I went to therapy. It introduced it to me. It exposed me to it, even though I was bullshitting. But, you know, life has a way of humbling you.
Yeah.
You
No
know
cap.
what
No
I'm
cap. Bro, speaking of journals, bro, you know what I'm saying? Did my journal.
Yeah.
It got, you know, got some work stuff, but also I use it for every month at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I journal, I recap my month. I'll be like, okay, this month with this happened, that happened. And then I like score myself. I score my physical, social, mental, and spiritual out of 10. And, you know, it's helped me keep track of how I feel, how I'm doing, what's happening.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm really doing this for my future generations because I'm not gonna be here, and maybe they think it's a cool story to read their great granddad's journal. You know, you want to go read great granddad's journal? Yeah. let's go to- okay, cool. So make sure you journaling. Make sure that because it helps you see your thoughts outside of yourself.
Yeah. And another key thing too, which I didn't really implement until like a year into journaling, was I had to be vulnerable.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, bro, don't even say that again, bro. Use another word, bro. What the fuck? Vulnerable, my nigga?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, bro.
Yes, you do, though.
So like I had to like, it was like I was fearful about opening up in my own journal for some reason. So like I don't know why I was doing that for like the first year or maybe year and a half. So even when you start journaling, like this is your journal. Like be as open as you want to in there and act like it's your sanctuary or some shit. Like don't nobody like read my shit, you know what I'm saying? But just is yours. Even though I know, you know, as you know, life can get contradicting. You don't own anything. That's just the ego. But as you're in this 3-dimensional realm, your journal should be like your fucking, like, I don't want to say Bible, but damn near Bible, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
Like literally.
It need to have all the important shit.
Yeah.
All the important shit. How you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? How you feel? What your propensities are? And I had that same type of, you know what I'm saying? I would say the comfortability phase where you first start journaling and you have to get comfortable with your journal.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, fuck, it's a piece of paper. How hard can this shit be? But yeah, you really do have to tell yourself, hey, I can say this in my journal. This is my journal. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
And some shit, you know, you don't want to say to people, so put it in your journal. You know?
Yeah.
Because you gotta let emotions flow.
Literally.
Yeah.
Bro, man, what? Like, I love journaling. Like, it's literally like, bro, sometimes I enter like flow state and it's just like my hand is just moving and it's not really too much thought that's like going between my mind and my hand. It's just my hand becomes in unison with my mind, body, and soul, and I'm just like flowing, kind of like, like in a movie or some shit, like when niggas be like a fucking spirit overtake them or some shit, and they just like, nigga, that's how I be for real. I be,
Yeah. Oh God.
you feel me? So that shit, I love journaling, bro. That's some shit. That's some shit that really changed my life for sure. And like meditation, journaling, meditation, I always say those are my two biggest things. But like, so like meditation, you meditate and you go like inward, you know, and you're just thinking about everything. You're replaying everything in your mind. But it's like journaling. It's like a real. It's
Outward.
like, yeah, you damn near painting an image with words.
Yeah.
Of like what's really going on in your mind and shit. So that shit's beautiful, bro. I for sure promote that to anybody. And this journals be cheap as $2, bro.
Bro,
So,
cheap as fuck, nigga. You can get some copy paper.
yeah,
inside
literally,
the
you don't
journal,
even
bro.
need it like a real journal.
Bro, like,
yeah,
you don't even need nothing fancy, bro. I'm actually finna go get a new journal pretty soon. This one goddamn almost filled up.
yeah,
Really close as fuck. And yeah, you should have multiple journals
hell
throughout
yeah.
your lifetime. If you go to the National Archives, you can see a lot of historical figures had journals. It is something that humans have done forever. Recording things. I mean, the farthest back that we know is the Sumerians. They were recording their amount of wheat that they had, or the process of farming, or things like that. They were recording these things. So make sure you are not only releasing your emotions, but
yeah,
recording your life.
yeah, hell yeah.
Very great practice. So, bro, as we wind down, bro, what do we want the people to lastly know about anxiety? You know what I'm saying? In this day and time for Gen Z.
So my biggest thing is change your perception of fear. And because like even with me, this is something I'm really still learning right now. I'm in a process. Is like sometimes I would feel fear and then I'll be like disappointed in myself because I feel some type of fear. But you're always going to feel fear. Like I said, just change your perception, your perspective of that fear. Like fear, make fear your friend, but don't let it paralyze you basically. So like those are my keywords to you guys, bro.
Yeah. I kind of look at it as like a challenge popping up. You know what I'm saying? Like fear come up is like, okay, am I gonna beat you? You gonna beat me? like
Yeah, literally.
who gonna do what?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I can accept the challenge or I can reject the challenge. And when it pop up, bro, I do my best. And, I wouldn't say that every single moment that I have fear, I go through it and I still go through with the situation. Sometimes I don't, bro.
Yeah.
But I have gotten better at it throughout my life. And, 20 more years, shit's going to be even better.
Exactly.
So, honestly, bro, take care of yourself. Realize that everything that you experience doesn't need to affect you. I know that we like to have compassion and things like that, but that can, a transfer of energy can allow anxiety to get inside of you. But also be real with yourself about where you are, what traumas you have that may be causing this anxiety, what past situations you've encountered, what propensities you have. Like, do you always go to the worst case scenario? Do you always think about all of the bad outcomes that can happen from a new situation or an old situation or a recurring situation?
Yeah.
And if you do that, you need to notice that. And that goes back to awareness. Literally just noticing, okay, in this situation, I get here and I always think like this is going to happen and it always happens. Let me try to think that it's not going to happen. Or I go to this situation and I think that this always happens and it never happens. That gives you more ability or more justification to throw out that anxiety that situation gives you.
Yeah.
But you'll always feel it, accept it, just develop a mindset that will allow you to grow, constantly and develop your appetite for change and your skill to adapt.
Yeah.
That is what, I think that people should do, especially Gen Z, bro. Honestly. Okay, so question, bro. So I asked before, but we didn't really answer it. Do you think it's a 1% mindset to be able to handle anxiety well? Think of how many people in your life you can say handle anxiety well. From an outward standpoint, you see that they handle anxiety well.
Yeah, I mean, it's very low for sure.
It's very fucking low.
Yeah.
Bro, damn near non-existent, bro.
Yeah, literally.
I would say shit. Well, I know a few. I know a few. But I would say a higher percentage, higher than 50% of the world does not handle anxiety well.
Oh, I would probably say maybe 5% max does handle it well.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know if I would go as low as 1, but I would say maybe 5 to 7.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it's single digits for sure.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. Because like the human mind is very tricky. A lot of people transition without mastering their own mind. So you look in the graveyard, it's a lot of untapped potential in the graveyard of people who never truly tapped into that godlike power that they possessed because they let emotions control them. And this is something that's been going on for probably thousands of years, but it's just getting amplified more because of social media. Social media that is bringing awareness to it, but it's also like causing more anxiety as well.
It is.
And it's two things I want to speak on before we close out is that, so going back into, like I said, fear is what keeps humans alive. But I was watching an Andrew Huberman podcast a while back, and he was speaking about how your brain, like everything is chemicals, but your brain is literally wired to detect danger because that's what keeps you alive. So it's like your brain literally processes out like the good things that's happening in your life. So that's why a lot of people always focus on the bad in their life, is because your brain is literally designed by default to keep you alive, to focus on danger. So that's why like red is such like a red is like it does something to humans that just like makes us more aware of that color because it's a very bright color, and it does some shit to our chemicals in our brain and some shit.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, but like I said though, you're not your body, bro. You're not even your brain. You're not even your thoughts. So it's like okay, you could be like, thank you, brain, for allowing me to detect this danger or whatever, or the worst possible outcome. But I'm gonna choose not to let it override me. And the second thing I wanted to speak on too is that anxiety actually brings health problems, bro. I don't think a lot of people really understand this. So some of the main health problems that anxiety causes is high blood pressure, heart disease, asthma flares, and like basically just like blood sugar spikes basically. So, because like I said, bro, it's all energy. Anxiety is an emotion, and emotion is energy in motion, bro. So when that energy becomes stagnant, bro, it's not flowing to the parts of the body it needs to flow to. So then it causes these blockages inside of your body. Yeah. And that's what causes these diseases to manifest into your life. So if you don't learn how to control your anxiety, it can literally kill you.
It can literally kill you, bro. Stress, anxiety.
Yes.
Biggest killers, bro. Like, it is, honestly, it's so unfortunate.
And think about all the people, especially even with the high blood pressure. Think about all the people we know with high blood pressure. We blame it on food, which, yes, majority of it probably is food, but 100% isn't just food, bro. It's the anxiety. Yeah. But the food
may be the coping mechanism for the anxiety.
Exactly. So it correlates with the anxiety, bro. Yeah. So it's like even the food, though, especially in America, the food causes these chemical imbalances within us to literally that makes us think differently. Like how you just sprayed that thing and it just allowed us to become more calm and things like that. Bro, food can literally do the same to you, but in the opposite. Or if you're eating healthy, it could, you know, have a positive effect. But I just wanted people to know how crucial it is to like master your own mind and master your fear and anxiety.
Bro, it's imperative, dog. You know, bro, y'all can matriculate through this life and actually go through this in a flow state, bro. Like, you can develop these skills, these mechanisms to be able to live a good life. But, bro, you know, this is super off topic, but me and my mom were passing through a cemetery, and I just was like, you know, I'm gonna have an obelisk. My gravestone is gonna be an obelisk. And at that time, I had no clue, you know, what an obelisk was in cemetery terms. Of course, I knew what it was in the world. It's that structure that usually has a pyramid at the top, and it's tall and it's slim. And I look it up and I say, and it said, usually people that are very notable, that are very successful, or you know, have made a big impact in the world, usually have those larger cemetery structures, and the obelisk is one of those. And, you know, I think about stuff like that, and I'm like, why did that pop up in my mind, bro? Like, I didn't see an obelisk in the cemetery. All I saw were all these gravestones that looked the same. And I said, you know, I'm gonna have a tall, big ass fucking thing for mine, and it's gonna have, you know, whatever I want on it. My name, what I did, everything. Shit, signatures of everybody who wanted to. I don't fucking care. But that was because I have this such high level of trust in myself and knowledge and in my potential. I was like, there's no way I can have this same gravestone as all these other people that just have their last name on it. It doesn't even have their first name on it. It has their first name on the plate, but not on the stone. And I'm like, I can't be like these people. And this goes back to my contrarian mindset. It's like, I just don't want to be put in the same categories as everyone else. Yeah. And but it was mainly because I thought about it. I meditated on it, and I was like, it's because like I see myself, I believe that I should have the highest regards for myself in life. And for some reason, I thought an obelisk would be a good idea of that when I pass along, and they wanted to have something to signify, oh, this is where he's buried or whatever. Yeah. You know? But yeah, man, that was a quick little spill, whatever. This has been the Pure Attention Podcast, man. Subscribe, like, comment, join the Pure Intentions community.
Yeah, join the community.
You know what happened, bro?
What?
We was running one day, and I left the Pure Intentions bottle on the back of my car, bro.
What?
That bitch gone. No clue where that motherfucker is, bro. Oh, shit. Man, that shit was probably like a few weeks ago, honestly. Like, I was like, damn. Yeah. But definitely got to get another, and make sure you get yours too, because facts. Man, that shit was keeping my shit cold as hell. I'm talking about, I have my bottle laying outside on my car in the heat, direct heat, no tree cover, and it's I open it after I get done running it, and my shit still has the ice inside of it. Yeah, I'm like, god damn. So yeah, that motherfucker actually worked. But join the community. Go to pipmerch.us to get your merch. And yeah, this has been the Pure Intentions Podcast, and we out.
Gang.